this video series, we will talk about a new chapter that is the cell structure and function, which is the most basic and most important unit of cell biology. And in this video, we will discuss about the cell, what it is, and why do the organisms have cells, and the cell theory. We will start with the definition of a cell. A cell is defined as the smallest basic unit of life that is responsible for all of life's processes. Cells are the structural, functional, and biological units of all living beings. A cell can replicate itself independently, hence they are known as the building blocks of life. A cell is an aqueous compartment bound by a cell membrane which is capable of independent existence and performing the essential functions of life. All organisms, more complex than viruses, consists of cells. Viruses are non-cellular organisms because they lack cell or cell-like structure. Each cell contains a fluid called the cytoplasm, which is enclosed by a cell membrane. Also present in the cytoplasm are several biomolecules like proteins, nucleic acids, and lipid molecules. Moreover, cellular structures called the cell organelles are suspended in the cytoplasm. The study of cells from its basic structure to the functions of every cell organelles is called the cell biology. All organisms are made up of cells, and they may be made up of a single cell, that is the unicellular one, or many cells, that is the multicellular. Mycoplasmas are the smallest known cells. Cells are the building blocks of the living beings. They provide structure to the body and convert the nutrients taken from the food into energy. Cells are complex and their components perform various functions in an organism. They are of different shape and size, pretty much like bricks of the buildings. Our body is made up of cells of different shape and size. Cells comprise several cell organelles that perform specialized function to carry out life processes. Every organelle has a specific structure. The hereditary material of the organism is also present in the cells. Discovery of cells is one of the remarkable advancements in the field of science. It helps us know that all organisms are made up of cells, and these cells help in carrying out various life processes. And the structure and functions of cells helped us to understand life in a better way. Now, who discovered cells? In 1665, Robert Hooke first discovered cells in a piece of cork and also coined the word cell. The word cell is derived from the Latin word cellular, which means small compartments. Robert Hooke published his findings in his famous work Micrographia. Actually, Robert Hooke only observed cell wall because cork cells are dead and without cytoplasmic content. Later, Anton von Leeuwenhoek observed cells under another compound microscope with higher magnification. This time he had noted that the cells exhibit some form of movement, motility. As a result, Leeuwenhoek concluded that these microscopic entities were alive. Eventually, after a host of other observations, these entities were named as animalcules, that is, living entities. In 1883, Robert Brown, a Scottish botanist, provided the very first insight into the cell structure. He was able to describe the nucleus present in the cells of orchids. Cells are similar to factories with different labors and departments that work towards a common objective. Now, on the basis of the internal architecture, all cells can be subdivided into two major classes: prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Cells that have a unit membrane bound nuclei are called eukaryotic, whereas cells that lack a membrane bound nucleus are prokaryotic. Eukaryotic cells have a much more complex intercellular organization with internal membranes as compared to prokaryotic cells. Besides the nucleus, the eukaryotic cells have other membrane-bound organelles, little organs, like the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, mitochondria, microbodies, and vacuoles. The region of the cell lying between the plasma membrane and the nucleus is the cytoplasm, comprising the cytosol or cytoplasmic matrix and the organelles. The prokaryotic cell lack such unit membrane bound organelles. Now the question is, why do the organisms have cells? In the living organism, the metabolic reaction can occur only in a delicately balanced environment that is different from any found in the non-living objects. Cells are the life-supporting chambers which have such a special environment. A living cell keeps its chemical composition steady within its boundary. This condition is called homeostasis. In the controlled environment of a cell, all life activities can occur in a desired manner. This is the reason why do the organisms have cells. Now we'll discuss about the cell theory or cell doctrine. The cell theory is one of the most fundamental generalization of biology. It was put forward by Sheldon and Schwann in 1839 in their paper Microscopic Investigations on the Similarities of Structure and Growth in Animals and Plants. According to cell theory, all living things are made up of cells, and cells is the basic structural and functional unit of life. In 1855, Rudolf Virchow proposed an important extension of the cell theory, that is, all living cells arise from pre-existing cells. The cell theory holds true for all cellular organisms. Non-cellular organisms such as virus do not obey cell theory. Over the time, the cell theory has continued to evolve. The modern cell theory include the following components. All cellular organisms are made up of one or more cells. The cells is the structural and functional unit of life. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. By division, energy flow occurs within cells. Cells contain hereditary information, that is the DNA, which is passed from one cell to another. All cells have basically the same chemical composition. Like the theory of evolution, the cell theory is surely one of the great unifying principles of biology. Although the cell theory is substantially correct, it does not apply to all organisms. At the end of this video, I would like to ask you some questions and you will give your answers in the comment section. The first question is, which of the following is not correct? Robert Brown discovered the cell. Schwann and Sheldon formulated the cell theory. Virchow explained that cells are formed from pre-existing cells. A unicellular organism carried out its life activities within a single cell. Second question is, who is the father of cytology? And the third question is, who is the father of microscopy? This was all about the cell and cell theory. I hope you will find this video helpful. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.